Hi, my name's Joe. I'm the UK Product Monitor for Ski. The aim of this video is to give you a little bit more confidence when selling ski equipment in store. The differences between low-price ski boots and high-price ski boots directly correlate to the overall level of the boot alongside the features and technologies used. The main factor that determines the level and therefore price of the boot is the flex rating. The flex rating is a non-standardised measurement that determines the stiffness of a boot when flexed forward. The stiffer a boot, the more advanced it will be. A beginner skier will need a softer boot that is more forgiving, whereas a more advanced skier will require a very stiff boot that allows them to transfer more power to their skis, making for sharper, more accurate turns. When advising a flex rating to a customer, it is important to analyse their height, weight and gender. This is because a heavier beginner will find that they need a stiffer boot, as a flex rating will feel more flexible to them. The flex rating of a boot can be identified by a number usually located on the side of the shell. The higher the number, the stiffer the boot, and therefore the more advanced it is. For men, a beginner boot will have a flex rating of 50 to 70, an intermediate boot 70 to 90, and an advanced expert boot 90 and above. For women who are generally lighter than men, a beginner boot will have a flex rating of 40 to 60, an intermediate boot 60 to 80, and an advanced expert boot 80 and above. Flex is the main factor that determines the level of a boot, and it is therefore imperative that when advising a customer, you take time to select a boot with a flex rating suited to them. A good rule when deciding on flex is to get the customer to flex as far forward as they can whilst the boot is fully fastened. An optimum flex would be when the customer's kneecap sits directly over their big toe. This means that they will sit in the ski position more effectively, giving them more control of their skis. After flex, the main component of a boot that determines price and level is the liner. The purpose of a liner is to provide insulation, comfort, precision and protection to the feet while skiing. Liners come in many different varieties, all with different purposes. A beginner boot will generally have a more basic liner with softer, more roomy foam that offers a good level of warmth and comfort. A more advanced boot will offer a firmer, closer fitting foam with a customizable liner. This will perfectly hold and adapt to the foot while still keeping a good level of warmth. Each brand has different liner technology for each of its boots, all with a different skier level in mind. Ensure that you choose a boot with a liner that is suited to your customer's skiing level and foot type. A good example of liner technology is in the Salomon Quest Access Cruise 80. The liner within this boot is specifically designed with warmth and comfort in mind. The liner is lined with aluminium and filled with metal wool polyester composite. The aluminium lining uses the insulative properties of aluminium to reflect the heat of the wearer back to their foot. This, combined with the metal wool polyester composite, ensures a high level of warmth and insulation for the wearer no matter what the weather. The liner also contains 30% thermomoldable foam to make sure the wearer has a customised and comfortable fit. After a liner, the next component of a boot is the insole. The insole sits on the inside of the liner and is added to a boot to ensure it is comfortable underfoot and provides a good amount of arch support for the user. Insoles can be standard fit, or a customer can have a fully customised insole fitted to their boots to ensure an optimum fit. A good insole can be key to a good fitting boot. It will align and stabilise the foot, increasing circulation, comfort and performance. If a customer has high arches or just wants a comfortable boot, be sure to recommend an insole. Other features that dictate the price and level of the boot include micro-adjustable buckles that allow the user to fully customise the tightness of their boots throughout the day. These are essential for achieving a precise fit, as they allow the user to shorten or lengthen a buckle, making the fit tighter or looser. These will be found on mid to high range boots, as the more advanced the user, the more precise the fit they will need. Ski boots have many features and technologies, but the flex, the liner, the insole, and the overall micro-adjustability of the boot are the main four that determine price and level. Fitting a ski boot can be quite tricky, as no two customers are the same. The main steps when fitting a ski boot are finding the customer's ski level, the size, shape and profile of their feet, and then choosing and fitting the correct boot for them. Firstly, when fitting a ski boot, you will need to ask the customer what their current skiing level is. A beginner skier will be a first-time skier or someone who has skied once before. This type of skier prefers easy, low-gradient ski runs graded green or blue. They can link snowplow turns and maybe even parallel turns at slower speeds. This type of skier will be looking for a recreational boot with a softer flex and a roomy, comfortable and warm liner. An intermediate advanced skier is a more confident skier who easily negotiates blue and green runs, taking care on red runs and occasionally skiing a black run. They are comfortable at medium to high speeds and use parallel turns the majority of the time. This type of skier will look for a sport ski boot with a medium to high flex and a firm but still comfortable liner. An expert skier skis all areas of the mountain on and off piste confidently and at high speeds. They may specialise in a certain discipline such as slalom or freestyle, meaning they require a specialist boot. This type of skier will need a performance boot with a high flex, a firm liner and an overall snug fit to ensure that it allows them to ski at a high level with a large amount of precision. Once you have determined the skiing level of your customer, the next stage of the boot fitting process is to analyse their feet. Analysing a customer's feet, you will need to measure the length, forefoot width, arch height and arch length of their feet. This will enable you to choose the correct shape boot for them. You can measure these variables using the CDAS foot measurer you have in store. Get the customer to stand on the foot measurer with ski socks. This will allow you to have an accurate reading. Next, pull the measuring bar down until it lightly touches the customer's toes. You can now read the length of their feet and arches as well as the width of their forefoot. Their length is measured in centimetres and directly correlates to the size of a ski boot. For example, a measurement of 27.0 would be 27 centimetres and links to the number written on the front of a ski boot. For the width, there are 3 zones on the foot measurer. To establish the width of a customer's feet, look at which zone the forefoot lies in: narrow, medium and wide. These different widths correspond to the differing widths that ski boots are made in. This therefore makes it easy for you to select the correct boot for a customer. Next, you need to look at the customer's arches to determine whether they are high or low. A high arch will lead to pressure on the top of the foot and subsequently an uncomfortable boot. A low arch will lead to foot instability, which will hinder ski performance. If a customer has very high or very low arches, they are likely to need a custom insole to optimise the comfort of their boots. Women naturally have higher arches than men, leading to pressure on the top of the foot. Because of this, manufacturers design women's boots to have a higher volume. Now you have profiled your customer's needs by determining their skiing level and foot type, you can choose 2 pairs of boots that fit the description. For example, if you have a beginner skier with wide feet and high arches, you can choose a softer flex boot with a wide shape and a lot of volume. Once you have acquired a few pairs of boots, you can begin the fitting process. To begin, ensure the customer is wearing a ski sock that fits correctly. This is the perfect time to make a +1 sale and to make sure your customer is comfortable. Next, completely remove the liners from the shells of the boots and have your customer place their feet inside with their toes pushed right until they touch the end. Get the customer to flex into the ski position and then place 2 fingers side by side behind their heel. This signifies the correct size. If you can fit more fingers, the shell is too big, and if less than 2 fingers, the shell is too small. If this is the case, choose a different model and repeat the process. Next, have the customer push their ankle to the back of the shell and open it up at the front. You now need to look for a pen's width of room between the ankle bone and the shell for a good fit. Too much room and the shell is too big. Too little room and the shell is too small. Providing the checks are correct, you can move on to the next stage. For this, place the liners back into the boots and have the customer put them on. When fastening the boots, fasten the top 2 buckles first to push the heel to the back, and then do the power strap up to reduce the gap between the shin and the tongue. After this, loosely fasten the bottom 2 buckles and ask the customer to flex in and out of the ski position a few times. Their toes should touch the end of the boot when stood up straight, and then slide back when flexed into the ski position. If this does not happen, tighten the top 2 buckles and power strap a little more to ensure the heel is firmly in the back of the boot. Once you are happy that the foot is in the boot correctly, you can properly fasten the bottom 2 buckles. Next, you need to check if the flex is correct for the customer. To do this, ask them to flex into the ski position. Their kneecap should fall directly over their big toe. This will mean that the flex is correct. If they easily flex beyond their toes, the flex is too soft, and if they cannot flex far enough towards their toes, the flex is too stiff. This could mean that their weight when skiing will be too far forward or too far backwards, making it very hard to control their turns. If the flex is not correct, choose a more suitable model. By now, you will have checked everything on the boot, and if all is as it should be, the next stage is to get the customer to stand in the boot for 10 minutes. This will allow the liner to soften and adapt to their feet. After 10 minutes, you will need to make sure the customer still feels like the boot is a good fit. You can offer various things to make the boots more comfortable. If a customer has a specific pressure point, you can place the boots on the moulding machine. This will help stretch the liner, therefore relieving the pressure point. If they have shin pain, you can offer a silica gel insert. This will help cushion the shins and improve comfort. For general foot pain or discomfort, offer a custom insole which will ensure their foot is stable and well circulated. The differences between ski goggles mainly relate to the type of weather they are designed for, and then any added features or technologies they may have. The main component in goggles is the lens. The main purpose of the lens is to protect the user's eyes from harmful UV rays emitted by the sun. This is much the same as how a pair of sunglasses works. The difference when skiing is that UV rays reflect from the snow, causing them to hit the eyes from all angles. This means that if a simple pair of sunglasses is worn, the user is at risk of peripheral sunblindness. There are three main types of lenses used in ski goggle construction, and each is suited to a different weather condition. An S1 lens is a bad weather lens when visibility on the slopes is poor. This lens has a very fine tint that protects the user from harmful UV rays but allows them to see the contours of the slope easily when the weather is bad. An S2 lens is the most versatile of all the lenses and contains a medium tint with more protection from the sun, but still gives the user a good amount of visibility if the weather turns bad. When recommending a lens to a customer, S2 is the best choice due to its adaptability. The last of the three lenses is an S3 lens. This lens has a high tint that offers maximum protection from the sun when the weather is very good. If a customer is going to a very sunny resort, this is the lens type for them. As goggles move up the range and the price increases, you will find that some, such as the Wedzi ProLand, contain photochromic lenses that adjust their level of tint as the weather changes. As price increases, many goggles will also come with a panoramic lens that gives the user a wider view of the slope. Due to the wider nature of this lens and therefore thicker frame, this lens will often accommodate users with glasses more easily. When advising a customer on goggles, the main technical information you will need to give them is about the lens. The main aspect that distinguishes a beginner ski from an advanced ski is the torsional rigidity. The more a ski flexes, the more suited to a beginner it is. A beginner will generally ski at lower speeds on medium gradients, therefore needing a softer ski to be able to initiate their turns effectively. Due to the lesser technical level of a beginner, the softness of the ski will also make turning easier even if a turn is not performed correctly. As a beginner progresses and performs at higher speeds, they will need a stiffer ski, as a soft ski will chatter and vibrate at high speeds, therefore reducing performance. An advanced skier who skis at high speeds on steep gradients will require a very stiff ski to be able to effectively turn. A stiffer ski will be more responsive, therefore requiring a much higher skill level. The next aspect of a ski that determines the level is the side cut. A side cut is the width of the tip, waist and tail of the ski. The bigger the difference between the tip and the waist, the shorter the turning circle. A shorter turning circle will suit a beginner skier as it is easier to turn. Advanced skis will be slightly longer to enable the user to ski at high speeds. Because the ski is longer, the turning circle will be greater. There are many different technical aspects within skis. You will cover this more in depth within your product trainings.